Hello guys, I'm Yasir. Today in this tutorial we will talk about one of the very important component which is used in pressure pumping services, or we can say that in treating equipment or treating iron or high pressure iron, and that is pressure relief valve. Okay, so we'll talk about pressure relief valve, which is one of the component of high pressure pumping services or the treating iron. Okay, so let's start our discussion from the point that what is a relief valve. In high pressure pumping services, it's quite possible that our pressure increases from the desired pressure or the working pressure. For example, when we are working on high pressure services using the high pressure pump or the triplex pump, and let's say the designed pressure or the required pressure for a particular line is, let's say, 6000 psi. And now during operating, it's quite possible that when we are applying 6000 psi, pressure increases from this 6000 psi. It goes more. Let's say it goes to 6200, 6500 psi. So this increase in pressure, the undesired pressure from the designed pressure, can cause a lot of problem. It can result in a catastrophic failure of the high pressure line, which can lead into the injury of the personnel and can damage the equipment and can damage the downhole tools or the equipment on which we are working. So it is very necessary and crucial that our pressure should not go the required pressure or the desired pressure. To achieve that target, that is to avoid the increase in pressure from a certain value, let's say what I just mentioned, in this particular line the pressure should be 6000 psi, so we don't want to increase the pressure from this 6000 psi. So to manage that one, to achieve that functionality, we use this particular component called relief valve or pressure relief valve. What does it will do? It will do that the extra pressure from the preset value. For example, in this line we want the 6000 psi, so if the pressure increase above the 6000 psi, it will discharge or release the extra pressure. That's why we call it pressure relief valve. It will relieve the extra pressure, so that's why we call it pressure relief valve. Okay, now let's see the working of this PRV, that how does it work. As we have just explained, this is a PRV which is used in high pressure pumping services. This end, this wing end, is connected to the line in which we want to maintain the pressure. As we just discussed, that for example, assume that in a line we want to maintain 6000 psi pressure, this end will be connected into that particular line. Okay, so if the pressure is increased in that particular line above 6000, what will happen? The extra pressure will be relieved from this end. Okay, the extra pressure will go here, and then through this internal mechanism, the extra pressure will be released. Okay, so that's why we call it a relief valve, that the extra pressure will be relieved out. To further understand or understand in much more detail, let's see the internal sections, that what are the main sections of this PRV and how does they work. So this is the end which is connected to the high pressure line. This is the relief end. Okay, and here we have actually the working mechanism. Here we have a ball seat, this ball and this ball keeper, which is held over here with the help of this spring, and this spring is adjusted with the help of this nut. So how does it will work? This end will be connected to the line where we want to control the pressure. So what will happen when the pressure will be increased from the preset value? So what will happen? This ball will be lifted up, and the communication will build from this side to this side. This ball will move up. Okay, and extra pressure or the extra flow, extra pressure will be relieved from this side. Okay, fluid will go from this side and it will
move to this side. Once the pressure is decreased, that is extra pressure is released, this ball will seat again. Okay, because at the back we have this pressure, this spring which is pushing it downward. Now as you can see and understand that we can control the force of this ball or the ball keeper with the help of this spring. Once we tight this nut, this spring will be compressed, okay, and it will exert a force on this ball. In this way we can adjust the preset value of the pressure. Okay, so I hope that you got the understanding that how does it work, that the extra pressure will act, this ball will be lifted up, and the extra fluid or the pressure in the form of fluid will be relieved. Okay, so in this way it will work.
Okay, and now let's see this animation and try to summarize and further visualize the working of this PRV. Okay, so here we have this PRV. As you can see, once the pressure is increased, as we can see on this pressure gauge, pressure needle, this seat or the ball seat is going up and the extra pressure is relieved. Okay, here you can see this blue fluid. So in this way, when the pressure will be increased, this spring loaded ball will move up and extra pressure will be relieved to the discharge end.